Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Tuesday, October 20th, and I'm Blair Kerkhoff. The Chiefs put away the Buffalo Bills on Monday, 26-17, to improve to 5-1. They dominated both sides of the ball, although there was a bit of a fourth quarter scare. The running game was the best it's been under Andy Reid, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was terrific with 161 rushing yards, matching the third best game by a Chiefs rookie. We talked about it on SportsBeat Live after the game with Sam Mellinger, Vahe, Gregorian, and Sam McDowell. Technical difficulties prevented Herbie Teope from checking in, although he did try. Hey, we're going to hear most of that SportsBeat Live broadcast here, but we'll do that after a break. First, let's hear what Patrick Mahomes and Clyde Edwards-Helaire had to say about the game.
Patrick, you ready for us?
Ready to go.
All right, we'll start with Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, just what was the energy like in the huddle when it became clear that you guys could run at will tonight?
Yeah, I think the O-line and those guys really took it personally upon themselves that the light boxes that we've been facing and the pressure that was given up the last week, and they took that personally this week, and you saw it today. They gave good holes for Clyde to run through. We had to shuffle those guys around. The guys stepped up, and Clyde really hit it and finished runs well.
Next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick. Curious about the running game tonight and your reliance on the running game. Was that the idea going into tonight, or was that something you guys just stuck with because it was working so well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had a few more pass plays called. I mean, we always do, but I mean, once we saw how deep their linebackers and safeties and corners were playing, we knew that we had the run game, and so we really just stayed with it. And if teams are going to play us like this, you're going to see us running the football, and we have the guys that can do it.
Next to Pat Graham. Go ahead, Pat.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing? I think this is the first time you guys have run for more than you've thrown for. What was it like resisting the temptation to take shots downfield and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, I had a few of those RPOs called, and I had to tell myself not to throw it, just keep handing that thing off. I mean, Clyde was running well, O-line was blocking well, and I mean, I just want to win. I don't care how that's done, pass, run, defense, whatever that is, and we found a way to do that.
Next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, can you walk us through the third down to Byron? And just with no Sammy tonight, how proud were you of him for stepping up in a huge moment?
Yeah, I mean, Pringle, I've always thought highly of Pringle. I mean, he comes in every single day. He works extremely hard, and when his number gets called, he makes plays. And so he's someone that stuck with us for a while. I'm sure he's had opportunities to try to go somewhere else, but he's been with us, and he's made plays. And on that one, he was kind of not even in the read. It was a read that I would look at Tyreek, who came back to Kels, and their safety drove it pretty well. And so extended the play, and Byron kept working like he always does, and I found him at a big time.
Next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Patrick, I wonder if you could specifically talk about how well Nick Allegretti stepped in and played, and then what it was like to kind of have to shuffle with Mitch leaving so early. And I'd like to ask a question about the defense, too, afterwards, Brad.
Yeah, all right. Well, with the O-line, I thought they did a tremendous job. I mean, not only Nick coming in, stepping up, and playing his tail off, really blocking well in the run game and the pass game, but Rimmers, who just came in this last week at guard and moving the tackle behind where Shorts is usually at, and really stepping up and doing a great job there. I mean, those guys are really prepared well. Beach does a good job of getting a lot of great guys in that room, and Coach Head coaches them up really well. And so I thought they did a tremendous job. I mean, hopefully we can get Mitch back here quickly, but I'm proud of those guys, and I have full trust in those guys going forward.
And what did you see from your defense this week? You know, I know that we're not very happy with what happened last week against the Raiders. Did you sense a little something from them, like they were ready to come out and have a performance like this?
Yeah, 100%. You can see that in practice. I mean, the attitude, the mindset. I mean, those guys have been rolling for a long time now, and to have a game like they had last week, they took that, like I kind of like said about the O-line, they took it personally, and they really came in, focused in on the details of every single thing. And, I mean, they showed why. I mean, they're one of the top defenses in this league, and they don't get the respect that they deserve.
Next to Sam Mellinger. Good, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, you mentioned the light boxes that you guys have been facing, but that's been going on all year, right? And you guys haven't been running the ball like this. I know you said that the line took it personally. Is it that simple, or was there something different you guys were doing? I know you had some different personnel up there. Was there some, different blocking schemes you guys were doing as well?
I mean, every week we had different plays that we add in, but for the most part, I mean, guys just blocked and we ran the ball well. It takes me back to like my college days at Texas Tech, where we're getting like drop 8 and linebackers are 6-7 yards deep. But if teams are going to do that, we got to run the football until they come up, and when they come up, we'll throw the football again. So we're a well versatile offense that can do it all, and so we're going to prove that week to week.
Next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, Patrick, your new teammate Le'Veon Bell was tweeting up a storm during the game. I think he said something like, "I can't wait to join." What does he bring to you guys' offense, especially with the running game clicking like it did today?
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to be another weapon. I mean, he's someone who's had tremendous success in this league for a long time now, and he's still in the prime of his career. I mean, he's 28 years old, so, I mean, he's going to come in and make plays happen, and we have days like today, having him, Clyde, Darwin, all these guys that can come in and run the football and keep just going at the defense over and over again. It'll open up the passing game, and it'll help me out a little bit too.
Got time for 2 more guys. We'll go Pete and then Nate. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Pat, congratulations on the win. I was wondering if you could just run through the 2 touchdowns to Travis.
Yeah, the first touchdown, there was a little kind of option route play with Travis, and I was trying to hold that linebacker a little bit. He did a great job of really attacking that guy, going back out. I put it back on him. He almost got me. He almost got me with his little shake, but I put it on him, and then he got in the end zone, and that was a big play. And then the second one, we got a kind of a shell coverage look, and Clyde kind of came out to the flat, and Travis was the corner route to the back pylon. And I saw the corner's eyes kind of just peek at me for a second, thinking I was going to throw the running back because he was already there. And I just put it in that back corner, and he made a great play of catching the ball and getting his feet in.
Let's go to Nate Taylor for the last one. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Pat, I want to ask you 2 quick things. Can you take us through the mental process of that third down run where you ran behind or past the line of scrimmage and then obviously made the decision to go back? And then can you also explain, too, just the idea, the notion that teams want to hold the ball against you guys and keep you on the sideline. And, in fact, today you guys reversed that course and what that felt like to be on the field more than the opposing offense.
Yeah, well, the first part, that play, I think I misread it a little bit. It was man coverage, and I was thinking about working Kels to McCole. And if you see, there's a split second where Tyreek kind of pops down the seam where I can maybe hit him for a touchdown. And so, obviously, they covered it well. I scrambled out, and the guy that was spying me was coming, and I was rolling, and I knew I couldn't make the first down. And then so I tried to stop at the line of scrimmage. And you probably can see it. I looked at the little stick, and I saw that I passed the line of scrimmage. I was going to drop back and try to throw the football to D-Rob or someone like that. And once I did that, I knew I had to get upfield, and then I got upfield enough. I thought I got the first down. But Shorty told me I didn't. But then we did a great job of running in the next play. And the second question one more time.
Just the idea that you guys possess the ball more than the Bills today when that usually is trying to be the formula to beat you guys.
Yeah, it's something that you're going to have to do in this league. You have to find ways to win. I think that's the biggest thing. You've seen it all this year. You've seen it all these last few years with our football team is we're going to find a way to win the football game. We don't care how that is. We don't care if it's not having a lot of possession. We don't care if it's having a lot of possession. But obviously doing that, it gives our defense the rest that they need to go out there and play good football. And so I thought we did a great job of having the time of possession. The defense did a good job of getting a lot of 3-and-outs or short drives and getting the ball back to us.
Hey, Clyde, are you ready for us?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll get started with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Clyde. Congrats on the win. Was wondering what you were seeing out there as far as the offensive line goes. It just seemed like there was a lot more room to work with this week against the Bills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. O-line had plenty of movement, and I was able to. I mean, as far as my reads throughout the week, everything looked like the way we practiced. So it came easy, and I mean, as far as you've seen, the O-line was hyped up. So as long as they're hyped up, we can keep rolling.
Go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Clyde, career day for you. Just what does it mean to have this type of a performance responding to your first loss in your career? And then secondly, Coach mentioned that you have talked to Le'Veon since he joined the team. I just want to know what that conversation was like before playing tonight.
Yes, sir. As far as responding from last week's loss, I mean, it was the mindset. And ultimately, everybody knows when it comes to football, it starts up front. And the O-line did their job. They made things move. They made everything easier for me. So ultimately, it's not just me. This is a career day for not just me, but the entire O-line. And then, talking to Le'Veon, another guy coming in, another piece to the puzzle. So ultimately, from here, I just feel like we can only go up. Le'Veon, guys older than me. I'm still in my rookie years. So ultimately, anything that I can do to pick his brain and gain any knowledge from him, I'm there for it. So as far as us talking, it was a quick conversation, but ultimately, we know he'll be in the building next week, so I'll be able to talk to him more in person.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Clyde, can you walk me through the process of just running behind so many different moving parts in front of you on the offensive line? Do you change your attacks? Do you change your approach? How do you do that?
It's ultimately based on the play call, and then the scheme. It's the scheme of the offense. It was something that I was able to do as far as college. If we want to go back to last year, just having tight ends and fullbacks come across my face and receivers come across my face as far as certain blocks that we need to make happen. And ultimately, it's our scheme. I was able to learn it over, OTAs as far as on camera. So seeing it, not just running it. And then ultimately when I got into camp, watching those pictures come to life right in front of my face, the same plays, same blocking schemes and everything else, it all just kind of plays a part in what we do. So I go in, I learn as much as I possibly can from the O-line, see how they're blocking up fronts, blocking up certain schemes, blocking up, the guys are in front of them, and then it just makes my job that much easier.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Clyde, I know you played at LSU, so I don't ask this question lightly, but you had a lot of yards before contact today. Have you had many games or any games like this where things were so wide open before you even got touched?
Yes, sir. A couple. Right now I can't just mark it off the top of my head as far as the games that were like that. But, when you have days like this, things just seem, like to part like the Red Sea, and that's what the O-line did. And ultimately, I just put my head down and run. And then when it's time to make a guy miss or time to run through a guy, I do my job. That fires up the O-line, and I'm doing my 111. So ultimately, it got us the win.
We've got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Sam McDowell and then Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Clyde, you're certainly aware of the way teams are trying to defend you this year offensively. Because of that, do you sort of feel the responsibility that you've got to have things going, to prevent teams from finding an equation to slow you guys down?
Ultimately, I just have to be accountable for my job. I can't do, all everybody else's job. Like I said, I do my 111th, and if I do my job, that's all I can be accountable for. So the best ability is accountability, and that's what I do.
We'll go to Aaron Ladd for the last one. Go ahead, Aaron.
Clyde, when we spoke with EB earlier in the week, he said y'all had a conversation about just getting 1% better each and every time. I'm curious where you feel like you've gotten better from week one up until now.
With us having this conversation this past week, it was something that he told me to make sure I just have 3 things written down each week, and ultimately, as far as the conversation I had in between, well, me and EB had. My job this week between me and him was finishing, and ultimately I feel like I did that this week as far as my 1% of getting better.
Hey, it's Blair. We have a special subscription offer for SportsBeat KC listeners, unlimited digital access to the Kansas City Star's award-winning sports coverage. Sign up now for 1 year of Sports Pass for access to all the sports news, features, and columns presented on the kansascity.com site, and it's only $30. That's a 40% savings off our regular rate. Your subscription will automatically renew after the initial term at $50 unless you tell us to cancel. Your subscription helps support the sports coverage of kansascity.com and the Kansas City Star, and that support has never been more important. Please visit kansascity.com/SportsBeatKC offer to get this special offer. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, welcome to SportsBeat Live post-game edition. The Chiefs just finished a 26-17 victory formation triumph over the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to talk about it with the guys who cover the Chiefs for the Kansas City Star. We've got Vahe Gregorian, Sam Mellinger, Sam McDowell, in the house. We're endeavoring to get Herbie Teope. We'll see if Herbie can make it. Herbie's been having some technical difficulties, and but we're trying to find Herbie. We'll see if he gets here. So, but this show is about talking Chiefs, not only with those who cover the team for the Star, but also you all. We want to get your questions and comments, and we'll talk. We'll get to as many as those as we can. So, hey guys, the first thought that I had about this game was let's start here. That both teams came into the game with the same record and coming off a loss as a favorite. And to me, this game was about who would be in a better frame of mind, who would handle the loss, maybe learn from it in a better way. And I think it's pretty obvious from the way that the game unfolded that the Chiefs, as Super Bowl champs, kind of played up to the team that we thought they could be. Am I right about that?
I definitely thought so, Blair. I mean, I feel like not that this was some real reality check exactly, but I do think it was a moment to sort of make a stand and flex what you have. And, we all kind of kicked this around in various ways, but obviously the Chiefs sort of did this in a new way, really new way, if you really look at some of the numbers in the running attack. And I think in the end, it was really kind of just a gritty win, too. I think it was a little bit of a testament to the culture and who this team sees itself as.
What do you think, Melly?
Yeah, I thought we've talked about this before, so this just isn't just a reaction to this game, but I thought the Chiefs, this group, has a pretty strong track record of rising to moments like this, of when there's even like this much doubt that they can turn into this much doubt. You know what I mean? That they're going to use that in a positive way. The Ravens game is the most recent example before today, but I was just blown away by what that offensive line did. I felt similar. I remember thinking this and probably even saying it on this fine program after the Ravens game that like the Chiefs are always pretty much going to be the fastest team on the field. When they can also be the stronger team, the more physical team, you're not going to beat those guys. And to be able to do that on the line when the switch at center was voluntary. That was an upgrade, they thought, but they lose Mitch Schwartz 3 snaps in or whatever that was. The game after you lose Kelechi Osemele, who was their best run blocker, and to shift these guys around so your replacement left guard becomes your replacement right tackle, and you got to do all this other stuff, and to be able to do that against that line. I mean, everybody's gonna be talking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and God bless him, they should be. He was great, but he got a lot of yards before contact. A lot of that was on the offensive line. There's Herbie.
We will liberate you, Herbie.
We're seeing the backs, like the behind the scenes of it, like the gaming stuff.
You can't hear us, I don't think.
All the better to talk trash on him. Meanwhile, I think this is the first time me and Vahe have ever both made the start of this show.
I think it is too.
How about that?
We got past that long-time grudge match. And
hey, Sam McDowell, I know you wrote about the offense, so let's stay on that side of the ball. The offensive line, I agree with Sam that the offensive line was terrific. I mean, just, Remmers playing 2 positions tonight, no Mitchell Schwartz. And I thought that there were times tonight when they blew they blew Buffalo off the ball and just pushed that defensive line.
Yeah, I guess I would kind of echo Melly's point, but maybe even more fine-tune it to it's not just the team rising to the occasion, but individual units within the team rose to the occasion tonight, because the 2 most criticized parts of this team last week were the offensive line and the defense. And those were probably the 2 parts of this team that carried them to a win, I thought. I recognize that the defense gave up some third down penalties, and Blair, you addressed that in your halftime story. But they gave up 206 yards to a team that gave up 400. The average is 402. So the defense played well. The offensive line was terrific. And I guess it's kind of a reminder that, and I don't think any of us did this, but not to overreact based on one game and not to do that based on how the Chiefs played last week. Now, if I make that point, I could probably say we shouldn't say everything on the offensive line is settled based on just what we saw tonight.
I cannot
but it's
hear
certainly
him.
a good sign, especially having to plug guys in.
Hi, Herbie. I guess he can't hear us.
What a coincidence. He's saying that he can't hear when you're talking, Sam.
Right.
All right, we're holding out for some Herbie. Maybe we'd all be better off with a little Herbie in our lives. And I know Beth is trying to reel him in via Zoom, as I understand it. But
I hate the "said no one ever" joke, but it's got to apply to that comment.
Let's stay on the running game because it was a record-setting night for the Chiefs running game. 245 rushing yards on 46 attempts. I think I have this right. The rushing yards, the most by an Andy Reid coached Chiefs team. The 46 attempts, the most by an Andy Reid coached team, including his years in Philadelphia. And the first time that with Patrick Mahomes as the starting quarterback, that the Chiefs had more rushing than passing yards. So I don't know if this was by design, but it seemed like the Chiefs wanted to establish this early. And once they got it established, they didn't move away from it. And what an advantage for the Chiefs if they can run the ball effectively like this, and not to mention having a newcomer join the team in time for the Broncos game on Sunday, who should only help the running game. Although I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire played tonight like he was hearing some footsteps. And who was it that wrote about Edwards-Helaire tonight?
I did. But
Okay.
I think probably in all of our stories. I'm sitting here like jotting down your notes on the stats, Blair, because like it's stuff I need to go back in and add to my story later. Patrick Mahomes said something really interesting that on RPOs, he sort of eventually was reminding himself before the play, like, don't pass the ball here. The running game's really working. And for Patrick Mahomes to say that, we're talking about the guy that's amassed more passing yards, or at least more quickly than anybody in NFL history, is telling himself before a play, hey, you got to hand the ball off here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was really good. I mean, he made a great move on a safety. I still thought the touchdown play probably should have counted. I thought the holding play was a little call, could have been missed. But I mean, he was really good. But I still think the offensive line was the storyline there.
Yeah, that holding call was on Nick Allegretti, and I thought otherwise played a game, a really nice game in the first time that he's seen this type of action in a Chiefs uniform. I thought he was really good. I know that we caught the eye of Buck and Aikman on the broadcast. So
that was their only holding call tonight, Blair, and they had 3 last week. And Mahomes only got sacked once tonight early in the game, and he got sacked 3 times last week.
Yeah, Allegretti was like I was borderline blown away by how good he was, and I don't mean that to insult the man, but I mean he was a 7th round pick last year, and we just hadn't seen that much of him. You can only tell so much from training camp. Didn't even have preseason games this year, obviously, to get a look. But I mean, he was just beating people up. He may have to stay on the field.
Well, same with Kilgore too. I think Kilgore at center was all we have are the results of the game, and those results were spectacular. I mean, for them to run as successfully as they did with an offensive line, like I said, where guys who hadn't played were playing, guys were playing different positions. That was really, really impressive.
And go ahead, Sam.
Well, I was just like real quick, if I can say something real quick. There's some significance here because we've talked about this a lot about, all these, rushing 3 or 4 and dropping 7 or 8 into coverage. And that's the way to sort of pull the Chiefs down. They're still going to score their points, but pull them down and make them a little bit more like a normal NFL team. And the Chiefs haven't been able to solve that. And if they figured something out, and I don't know if the Bills just have a lot of problems up front, that's on the table. But if the Chiefs can do this, not 245 yards or whatever it ended up being, but if they can just keep those people honest, if they can keep defenses honest, then I don't know what you do against these guys.
Yeah, Herbie is blaming Sam McDowell for his technical difficulties. Nobody's surprised by that. So,
if I had a way, I would do it, but I'm not.
Hey, so let's staying with the offense. Even with the domination of the Chiefs in terms of yards and time of possession, it was 37-23 or something like that in terms of time of possession advantage. The Chiefs had the ball all night long. And yet, with 4.5 minutes to go, the Chiefs hold a 6-point lead and are facing a 3rd and 12 from the Chiefs' 33. They've got to make a play here, or they're punting back to a Buffalo team that had just gone down the field in 75 yards in about 3 minutes to make it a one-score game. And Mahomes I thought he had a superb game tonight, kind of a understated superb game. We'll talk about a couple of his plays, but his extending the play on 3rd and 12 with a 37-yard pass to Byron Pringle, not Tyreek Hill, not Travis Kelce, not McCole Hardman, not DeMarcus Robinson, but to Byron Pringle was, I think, the biggest snap of the game. Do you guys agree?
I think it was humongous, or mammoth, as Gary Pinkel would say. It just, and Blair, you made a key point about it. It really developed because Patrick, made time by moving and stepping up, but the Pringle kept the play going. And goodness, between Pringle, just that play, and DeMarcus Robinson, they kind of filled the void for Sammy Watkins in ways you might not have expected. DeMarcus hasn't been that reliable this season. It seems like he's had some drops when he's had an opportunity, and he had more yards, or almost as many yards in the first half as he did in the entire first 5 games. So, but that play in particular, I think if you're doing the highlight reel of the game, that's one of the 4 or 5 plays of the game.
Didn't it look a lot like the play that Nick Keizer didn't make last week?
The one that bounced off the chest.
3rd and long, Mahomes does his Mahomes stuff, throws it across the field. Keizer just, my assumption is that he just wasn't ready. That's never happened to him before. He's never been in that situation. And Byron Pringle, that guy, he doesn't get he's great on special teams, but he doesn't get a lot of snaps on offense until Sammy Watkins, hurts his hamstring or whatever. But he is always ready. And he seems like he's ready in big spots too. I mean, I go back and now I'm forgetting the specific play, but there was a huge play he made. Remember last year in Detroit?
Yeah.
At the end of that game, he just seems to be, for a guy that doesn't get many offensive snaps, man, he is ready for the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to remember the Patrick Mahomes piece of that play, and rightfully so, because he extends the play that a lot of quarterbacks get sacked on, or at least tuck it and run. But Byron Pringle was stationary at the end of his route, as he was called to be, to run a little hook route, and he ran about 40 yards across field at a deep slant to make somebody, to give Patrick Mahomes the out on that play. So to me, his mental acuity on that play is what made the whole thing happen.
And look, I don't need to take an unnecessary shot at McCole Hardman, but I do think that in a play like that, you see, I think Patrick might have a level of trust with Pringle that he's still working to achieve with Hardman. It looked to me like when Hardman, it was pretty much a drop ball. First half, was it?
Yeah. Popped up in the air.
And you could see Patrick, and the camera flashed to Patrick going like that, get the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could have been intercepted.
What's that, Blair?
Could have been intercepted.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That ball was in the air a long time after it hit Hardman's hands.
One of our viewers, Herbie, says he's a K-Stater. Of course, he's always ready.
You know what? I almost said the obligatory Herbie line, but I was like, you know what? He's not on the show. So just not gonna. Of course, he texts in.
One of our viewers.
Hey, let's switch it over. I thought the Patrick Mahomes and the offense needed to outscore the Raiders last week. They couldn't do it, but they got in a shootout, and I thought the defense played as poorly as we have seen a Chiefs defense play since the beginning of the 2019 season last week. I thought they came to play tonight. The defense was aggressive. We saw it in a couple of the penalties, especially by the cornerbacks. But they didn't sack Josh Allen. But I thought they hounded him into a mediocre game tonight, and he was inaccurate early. I think on his own. I don't know if he felt pressure early, but he was inaccurate early, and then I think Passanio and Jones and Clark and those guys were getting to him or getting close to him and rushing his throws, and just until that late touchdown drive, I just wasn't impressed with Josh Allen tonight.
I watched a lot of the Bills this year just because they seem really interesting, and the improvement from Allen, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think he was something like a 56% passer his first 2 seasons or whatever as a quarterback, and he's been close to 70, or at least he was before these last 2 weeks. And I don't know what happened these last 2 weeks. He looked like a different guy. The first, what would that be, 4 weeks of this season? People were saying he's an MVP candidate and all this stuff. But if you didn't know that and you just saw what he was tonight, you'd be thinking like they got some, really athletic tight end, who's got a big arm playing quarterback or something. Like he just, I do agree with you. Like he seemed inaccurate. The ball was wet, right? Like, so I don't know how much of a factor that was. But then I also thought that the Chiefs brought some pressure and did it pretty consistently. And it seemed to really bother him.
How about Damian Williams after the game saying, pressure? What pressure? We didn't bring any pressure. Yes, they brought pressure. Absolutely, they did. They pinned their ears back a couple of times. And so Roy Zelensky asks, he's surprised to see Darwin Thompson again. Which running back will lose the most carries to Bell? And is this the new offensive line going forward? Let's take Darwin Thompson had a couple of good moments. That's how I know the offensive line was playing great tonight, because it didn't matter who carried the ball.
Yeah.
They all had good moments. And the Darrell Williams touchdown run on 4th and 1, once a gutsy call, I figured the Chiefs would go for it there. And let's talk about the play before that, the spinorama by Mahomes. I mean, that's going to get lost, right? Because it didn't pick up a first down, but if he gets tackled for a 4-yard loss, they're kicking a field goal there, right? So, what did you guys notice on that?
Well, we're all like kind of different ages, so I don't know. Like, but when I was a kid, the NFL had these. They weren't really bloopers, but they were just like funny plays. Like something would happen that you just never see before. And I forgot what it was called, but they were on loop on ESPN just constantly. And God, I love those shows. And that looked like one of those plays out of that. Like it just looked like sort of like a cartoon. It looked like Hinchman. Like it looked like everybody else was on skates. Like he runs past the line of scrimmage. He thinks he's not past the line of scrimmage. He looks over, sees that he's past the line of scrimmage, and it's like goes back, goes forward. And then guys that like came out before him are trying to get him this way again. And he's just, I think there were like 4 defenders that had a chance at him. And I thought he got, like watching live, I thought he got a first down. But
so did Andy Reid.
Yeah, but I do think it was a good spot. Andy Reid they should have measured. And if that's what Andy was pissed off about, I think he had every right to be. I don't understand. Go measure. Like that's just what happens. But God, that was a great play. It was like funny. I think it was like you can like divide Mahomes plays, right? And that was like one of the funniest plays I think he's had.
I'm thinking about the fact that the Sams are substantially younger than the Vahe Blair combo, but I can almost set that old NFL films music to the thing you're talking about. I can just hear it like
so good.
So Peter Alden asks, are the Chiefs better off without Mitchell Schwartz in the run game?
No. Stop.
Well, how about a Mitchell Schwartz with the back issues? I wonder.
Oh yeah, probably.
I mean, this guy who now he's never missed a start, right? Tonight would have been 135 games. He's never missed a start. Played one series. Andy Reid said after the game he thought he could go, and obviously that wasn't the case. Oh, be curious to see what happens.
First game he didn't finish, right, Blair? I mean, because he only
finished the Tennessee game last year.
Yeah, he came back in that. Was it your sense, and it sounds like that's what you're saying, Blair, I missed a little bit of Andy while I was typing, but so the idea really was that he thought he could go, as opposed to he really aggravated it tonight.
Just he looked fine. He looked fine walking from the sideline to the locker, if that's what he was doing. So I don't know.
That was Andy's explanation, is that he popped up Saturday on the injury report with the back issue, and Andy basically said he tried to go, it tightened up on him, and he tried to say that's one of the reasons Kilgore started as well. Is Austin Ryder's been dealing with a little bit of a tender knee, which has been on the injury report.
It has, yep.
But I can't help but think that was a coach's decision based on the interior of the line getting beaten up last week.
Yeah, and they may have looked like I really don't think it was Mitch Schwartz being out. I think it had more to do with what Sam just said about the interior of that line. And if they've got a way to, if Kilgore is as much of an improvement, as much of an upgrade over Ryder as it looked, just naked eye, just watching the broadcast view. And if Allegretti is that, which is kind of like what we saw from Osemele. I mean, just a physical mauling guy.
Brute.
That, gosh dang, like maybe they really found something here. It's just one game. Bills have other issues. Need to see it again. But that is intriguing, for this season-long problem of what do you do against these light boxes. If the Chiefs just found something, again, they don't need to rush for 245. But if they can just rush enough that teams are a nickel instead of dime for crying out loud, I mean, just something that could be really significant.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Broncos try and defend them next week.
Yep.
That'll tell us whether or not we think this was more Bills or whether it was more Chiefs.
Yep.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our production staff of Derek Donovan, Randy Mason, Beth Welsh, Jeff Rosen, Chris Fickett, and Savannah Smith. Tip of the cap to Sam Mellinger, Vahe Gregorian, Sam McDowell, and Herbie Teope for Talking Chiefs and the NFL. You can find their stories in the show notes and on kansascity.com. Hey, we have another deal for you, especially for those who want a deep dive into the Stars' terrific Chiefs coverage. For a limited time, you can subscribe to Sports Pass for 99 cents a month. That's right, 99 pennies a month. After 3 months, it auto-renews at $5.99 a month unless you cancel. How do you get that? Go to kansascity.com/sportspass2020. That's kansascity.com/sportspass2020. Hey, do you want more than just the sports coverage? I know I do. Check out the entire Kansas City Star product. Sports, news, features, commentary, and analysis, the whole thing. You get all the stories written by my talented colleagues, plus additional news, sports, and business coverage with the e-edition. The details for all of these deals can be found at account.kansascity.com/subscribe. If you're having trouble hunting down any of these offers, send me an email at bkerkhoff@kcstar.com and I'll get you to the right place. Whether it's a sports pass or the full subscription, you're getting and supporting the best sports and news coverage in Kansas City and helping us produce programs like SportsBeat KC. Thanks for listening, and we will be back on Wednesday with another episode.